everyone seems to be so in love with AI. They're not just trying to replace writers, they're now trying to replace voice artists. They're trying to just cut out as much human creativity, even though if you don't have an actual person doing your voice acting will suffer because AI cannot replicate human emotions. So that is why voice actors around, I believe around the world, they came together to have human voices only, a day where they were showcasing their contributions to books everywhere, to reading everywhere, because if you don't believe audiobooks are reading, GTFO. Beatrice, why don't you give some more details on this?
Well, it all started because Amazon started trying to push really, really hard their AI generated audiobooks as a good thing for authors that were self-published with them. As like, oh, do you want to try this cool new thing that we have? And the authors were really shocked and started like got to social media and started saying like, can you believe that they have the gut to message us like that? Like, hey, would you like to keep another creative out of work and steal like their voices and shit? I don't know. It's really tone deaf, and it's happening with a lot of these companies that they are doing more and more tone deaf things. This like what happened with Reedsy too. I saw an actual like company that is dedicated to graphic design for publishing and to creating book covers do the stupid like starter park trend with AI. Like all of these big companies really, really are missing the mark of why people are so alarmed by everyone trying to push AI. So some of the authors that receive those emails are also voice actors because like people have multiple passions. So it hit even harder because they were like, wow, you are literally telling me in my face that you are asking people if they want to replace me and all the work that I have put in the industry as a good thing for, way less than a person that like lives by this thing.
So,
Uh, yeah.
so Yashi, you are both an author and an AI ethicist. So you've gone to school, you have a master's degree, you've done lots of with AI. How difficult do you think it would be to have an AI narrate your audiobook and actually be able to nail the the sense of emotion you are trying to portray?
It would be really difficult. I've had to do a project where I had an AI read out my stuff. I had to build that. And let's say I put my work into it, which is heavily on the Sanskrit side. It has these weird intonations and what have you. It cannot get any of those words right. Like even a regular name like a Maya, it can't say it correctly. Just trying to get it to nail human emotion is just difficult in itself because AI can't exactly be like us. It's kind of I don't know how to explain it so well. It's like imagine introducing this new thing and you're like, "Hey, this is like you, a human." Haha. It's not. It's
So,
not.
I mean,
I love that explanation. This is a hit. No, it's not.
It's
I
not.
mean, it's hard to describe something, and I think both of you have said this in previous episodes that a lot of the times when you're writing, you draw upon your own uh, experiences in life. It's hard to be able to narrate and emphasize and really properly convey those emotions, especially in speech, if you've never experienced anything like that. And I'm not saying that you have to experience trauma to narrate, a traumatic scene, but having some kind of basis other than turn trauma up to 11, like how do you do that?
And there's also like even like if we want to go for there's a lot of like psychology knowledge involved into this thing of like if you're narrating, and I'm not I'm not a voice actor, but I for fun have like narrated passages of like my stuff, and also I do have an audiobook out there. So, and I did work with a voice actor, and it was a thriller. So like human emotion is extremely important for it. It's an audiobook in Spanish because it was like this very like, oh, you're being stalked kind of like scream time of thing. And you, the same way that you set up things like pacing, for example, and foreshadowing and things with the writing, you do the same thing when you're narrating. Like the narrator does it. And I am obsessed with audiobooks. That is like the main experience that I have with this. I listen to at least like two audiobooks a week. Like it amazing. Like I love them so much, and they are kind of like my safe place because I feel like you really can see all the effort that is put into relaying all the emotions and everything. And going back to what I said about psychology, if you want to set up, for example, like the foreshadowing of something important, maybe you're starting to change the intonation of a particular word. Maybe the conversation would have interpreted differently, but the way that the voice actor does it and like makes the character speak lets you understand that there's an undertone there. Things like what Yashi said about like pronunciation of names that could be like so extremely disrespectful to people if a robot is just out there mispronouncing names, mispronouncing things that are very important to people's cultures. And even for like a reader's perspective, if the readers say that they don't care about it, it's really boring. I used to be part I remember very, very much years ago where a certain amount of stories in Wattpad had like automatic AI like bot narration kind of thing. And I was like, what is this? And I pressed play and it was just the weirdest, like absolutely robotic, like Siri reading you something. You get so uninvested on it so fast because you can feel that it's just a robot trying to just relay information. And that's
Yeah.
it.
And I kind of learned like voice actors have to, when they're doing audiobooks, they have to maintain like a certain tone, they have to maintain a certain speed. And I find that AI kind of struggles when it comes to the speed. Like, if you slow it down too much, it starts sounding all warped like this. Or if you do it like, you speed it up, it's like, oh my God, it's a like chipmunk. No, we don't need that.
Well,
I guess.
and so I was, building up to this. I was cruising through threads and Instagram, and a lot of people are talking about their experiences with voice actors or voice actors talking about their experiences. And I regret not saving it now, but there was someone who's talking like they narrated their own audiobook, and as they were narrating, they were actually narrated lines differently than they heard them in their head when they were writing. Like, oh, that completely just changed the tone of my book and it made
Yeah.
it better. So it's
Mhm.
almost like a collaborative experience because those voice actors are bringing new emotions that someone who has read the book would that's how they've interpreted it. So it's collaborative with a voice artist and an author, and it makes the process better because an AI is going to do what you tell it. A human is going to, for better or for worse, put a spin on it that they as a reader picked up on, which you can't get from an AI. You have to sit there and instruct it, honestly, probably word by word in some cases if it's a very important passage. And that's inefficient. That's terrible. Like, what's the point?
And also
And
like
go ahead.
sorry. Oh no, I was gonna say just see all the passion that voice actors put into audiobooks. Like if you follow any voice actor that does audiobook narration in social media, they skim the book real quick and then they start narrating. Sometimes they start crying when they're reading. So like they sometimes they have to stop because it's like too emotional for them. They really invest themselves because this is not only their job, for a lot of them is their passion and they are extremely passionate about it. And I have seen like a lot of them, especially because of human voices only kind of like, speaking about their experience, how much they know that like how grateful they are that an author trusted them enough to bring their baby to life, and how much they cherish that opportunity, and how important it is for them to convey everything like accurately and properly and like the most beautiful way. You're never going to get any passion from AI. You're not going to like whatever like robot sounding voice is narrating your thing is never going to feel anything about your book. It's never going to want to make people feel anything. It's not going to have an intention. It's not going to have a drive.
Here is an excellent quote from Marlowe Graves' writer on Threads. This is their post about, I'm just gonna skip part of it, but voice actors don't just read words from a page, they breathe life into them. No AI can ever replicate that depth, authenticity, or soul of a human voice actor, nor can they stumble over their words like I can. So take that, AI.
That's amazing.
But I want to go back to something that you said in the beginning, Beatrice. You said that Amazon's or a notification of this was tone deaf. And I agree that we don't want AI narrated audiobooks. I think it's a terrible thing. But with the way the industry is moving, where people just want to pump out books as fast as possible and they see audiobooks as another source of revenue, I would almost argue that it's not necessarily tone deaf, it's just they did not target the right people. So I think that's almost an indictment of where the writing industry is going. And now we almost have to use the term industry loosely because there's people who just churn out AI slap it in an audiobook, have it narrated, pop it on Kindle Unlimited, and sell it for 99 cents, $2, and assume they're going to get rich because they can pump out 45 of these in a year.
I mean, and like my kind of like advice for authors is very similar to the advice that we do with other AI generated stuff, that it's like at the end of the day, it's not going to be worth it. It's the illusion of production and the illusion of the possibility of selling. A person is not going to empathize with an AI narrated audiobook. They are not going to even like you can listen to samples of audiobooks so you can clearly see before you purchase your audiobook if it's AI narrated or not. That is not going, even if you're able to pump out more content faster, it's not going to mean that people are actually going to buy it.
Hmm.
They're going to the same in the same way that like things that have like AI book covers just because it's easier AI generated text. People are going to recognize that, and especially nowadays that everything is interconnected and people are realizing how much the things that are made without any human creativity are boring, devoid of anything. They're not going to consume them. So you are going to be wasting the time, even if it was
Well,
less,
and
just creating them.
yeah, Yashi and I, you and I were kind of talking about this earlier today. Um, the amount of authors that have to come out and apologize for AI stuff in their books is skyrocketing. Even not like I mean, super mainstream authors probably aren't using AI to begin with. But the amount of people that are coming out and they have to apologize for this, or they apologize for that because it's the AI cover, it's an AI snippet, it's AI this, it's AI that. And we were honestly joking that we should just start a list and do an entire episode of this with the dumbest excuses for using AI.
I love that.
Honestly, I feel like the results we'll find are baffling. Like, I was looking through threads, and when Amazon had rolled out this new feature, an author starts off with, I am heavily against like AI generated content. However, I will be using the AI voice to narrate my book. And it's just like, it doesn't make a difference. If you're against AI, don't use the AI generate.
Yeah, you can't be selectively against generative AI. You're kind of all against it or you're not against it when it comes to, the right industry. They can't be like, oh, well, I'm not gonna use
Exactly.
it to write my book, but it's cool if I use it to generate a cover and do an AI audiobook. Like,
It's so
Exactly.
disrespectful.
I mean, I'd be willing to bet, it depending on where you're at in your career, like if you are just starting out, I'm sure you can find a voice artist who is just starting out, probably still pretty decent for a pretty low price.
Some
Your
some
Sorry, go
are
ahead.
like working for free, like just to get their names out there, just for practice. Like I've recently connected with a voice actor and they were incredibly nice and they were like, "Oh, I can do this for like free." And I'm like, "No. No, you're not gonna do this for free. I don't believe in free." However, we'll work at a trade that you're comfortable with. A lot of voice actors are like that, and if you look hard enough on Thread, or not even like that hard, there's a lot of voice actors out there that are willing to do like 1 or 2 minute clips for you and then you could use it for marketing.
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
It's
I would
it's no
love to be a
harm.
voice actor, but I mean, I obviously don't have the skills that those people do. But yeah, if someone was read the, or saw this and was like, "Hey, would you do a read for me?" 100% for free. Let's go right now.
Let's
Yeah, you have
go.
a great voice.
I mean, I like
Do it, do it.
to, as I choke and cough right now. Yes, I like to think so. But every time I listen to these recordings, I'm like, ugh, that was terrible. So
But like, aren't we our own like harshest critics? I can't English today.
yeah, so we are all our own harshest critics or whatever it is. But also, does anyone actually like listening to their own voice on recording? I feel like the answer
Yeah,
is
I feel like
no.
no one likes
Yeah.
that.
No one
I'll
enjoys their
pretend.
actually there's the what's his name? Adam Driver, the actor. If you play one of his scenes for him in an interview, he will walk out because he hates to like listen and watch himself.
I love that for him.
Yeah.
I also love him.
Everybody loves him.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean it's just I think groups like Amazon are pushing for this because people can then churn out more junk to put on Amazon that Amazon can sell and for it's 7.99 for this audiobook and Amazon's going to take $4 for it. And, I'm sure that AI costs something to develop, but I'd be willing to bet they're using it for like 19 other things as well. So
It's a
whatever.
capitalism machine. We're putting the dollar back into idolatry.
Hmm.
I love that song. I also found this very good, I think, conversation in threads about human voices only and the event specifically. And it's just an author saying, hey, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think AI is better than a human narrator. However, I cannot afford that, so that's the reason why I'm using it. And this voice actor that I love, and hopefully one day she can get to read my books and I will cry and scream because I love her so much and she's perfect for my book. Her name's Carmen Sante. I will botch this name. I'm so sorry. Carmen Chantel narrator, probably. I'm so sorry if I did it wrong. Very respectfully saying, hey, I respect this. However, that is kind of why human voices only exist. And it's important that we're bringing this because it wasn't a one-time thing. It's something that from time to time audiobook narrators do because it gives authors the possibility of hear their work for free, a snippet of their work narrated by a professional, feel what it is to have a professional narrate your books, feel the difference, see it with your own eyes, not with a different audiobook of like whoever produced it, with the thing that you wrote for free that you can use for social media, that you can do whatever, but most importantly, that this person that is a professional on this didn't charge you anything and they took the time to produce something that is very valuable to you. So you can get a taste of what it would be like, and then you can decide. And she's great. I love her.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's no excuse to use an AI audiobook. Like, let's just cut the crap. Like, there's no excuse. Like, okay, is it super cheap? Yes. Can you get voice actors that are probably pretty cheap? Yes. Could you work out a deal with a voice actor? Yes. There's no reason to use an AI anything except to cut corners and be lazy. And we kind of talked about this on one of the other podcasts. Like it seems because of the toxicity of the writing and publishing industry, people are turning to that because of the Yashi, what was the term you coined?
Author inadequacy.
Yes, that's because they feel that if they don't write a ton of books, publish a ton of books, publish them in multiple formats, they are less of an author. Did I get your theory right?
Yeah, it all plays a role, honestly, and it's just I don't know how to say it other than it's just sad. Like we shouldn't be feeling inadequate because of an industry that's kind of treating us like fast fashion.
I mean, it's I don't think it's even just this industry. It's
The
society
world.
as a whole. If you aren't producing a lot and producing fast, it's that hustle culture that, we hate and we think is honestly incredibly unhealthy. It's basically that bleeding into the writing industry. Look at some of the big name authors that aren't James Patterson, who has everything ghost written. Like they're producing one book a year, two books a year. I mean, there's authors out there. What's the name of the author who did the Night Circus? Like Aaron
Erin
Morg,
Morgan, sir.
yeah, or Aaron
Morgenstein. Yeah,
Morgenstein.
I
She's
think so.
written two books over the course of like 12 years.
I love the Starless Sea and the Night
Oh,
Circus.
Night Circus is one of my
Excellent.
favorites. So good.
Excellent. And
That,
the audiobook for the Night Circus is the best audiobook
mhm,
I have heard in my life.
yes,
That man
it was so
is,
good.
oh my, he's not human. That's what we're talking about. He's a beyond human. He is, I,
That, w-
I think that's the only audiobook. I'm sorry for interrupting
no,
you.
go.
It's the only audiobook that I can literally sit in the dark and just
Mhm.
like actively just be
He,
completely submerged.
there was something about his voice that he just painted a picture like no one else I've I mean, honestly, that book as a whole just paints a picture, but the way his voice, like I can still hear like him describing like the wrought iron gates and the popcorn popping and all that, and
Oh, I
it was
love
just
that.
something about it.
Now I need to read this book. I have no idea what you
No,
guys are talking.
it's amazing. What is the audiobook narrator? I
Yeah, we
need
need to
to
find
shout
his
out this
name.
man. Narrator. I'm pretty sure his name is Jim Dale. And I am pretty sure
He does a lot of stuff.
I read a little bit of the Night Circus like physically, and then I mentioned that to my therapist. And my therapist was like, you no, you cannot have the Night Circus without the audiobook. This man is amazing. You got recommended by my therapist. And he told me that he has won like a lot of awards and stuff because of like how great he is. I love that man.
I guess this
Jim
kind of
Dale.
touches on like the emotions of voice actor shows that
Yeah!
AI can't really replicate.
Hmm.
Like you don't get this excitement from a an AI author. Or not an AI author, like a voice actor.
Trying to find what other stuff he might have done because he was so good. Oh, he's narrated a ton of stuff if this is the right guy.
He holds the Guinness World Record for most distinct character voiced in an audiobook, which is 134, and it was Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. That is wow. 134 different voices that this man is able to do. That is the
I think there was a
value.
hundred. I mean, it's been a very long time since I've read those, but I don't recall there being that many characters in that. Oh wait,
Uh,
Order of the Phoenix?
Order of the Phoenix does have a lot of characters that maybe like appear a couple of times.
Maybe
And
it's
he gave distinct voices to all
yeah,
of them. That is the beauty of audiobook narration. I love these people so much. I just love creativity. I love passion.
yeah. I mean, if you don't understand the value of a good voice actor, you've not heard a good voice actor before. Like there's another one that I used to listen to a lot. He passed away 4 or 5 years ago. Rene Auger Benoit. He was really good. He did the oh God, what's it called? It was an entire series, and each one surrounded like the first one's about faith. The next one was time. Um,
that sounds real
the
good.
God, what is it?
Tim, you have to find that. I want to read
Yeah.
it. Well, right now I'm currently listening to Cinder by Marissa Mayer, and the voice actress for Cinder is also extremely good. I cried a little bit in a few moments, and it was just because of like the whole emotion that this woman is able to put into everything. The voice actor for This Violent Delights and Our Violent Ends also so good, so masterful at like really transporting you. into the story, into what every single character is feeling, into all the emotions and how conflicted people feel sometimes. I love humans that are creative and that are not terrible people.
Yeah,
I
that's a
love
different
the
episode.
disclaimer. You know, there's a trend going on with voice actors right now where they have two different voice actors narrating different like chapters or, characters and such. And I feel like if you kind of introduce AI to this, it's not really going to bring that magic to the table because like it's just one flat monotonous tone. Whereas if you can get two voice actors to narrate work, you have like two different like voices or two different skill sets for voices, and it's just I don't know, it just adds to the magic. I don't
The
why.
series I was thinking of is Incarnations of Immortality
I
by
will
Piers
be
Anthony.
reading that.
Each book
Anchor.
focuses on one of the eight supernatural offices: death, time, fate, war, nature, good, evil, and night later. I did not read the good one because everyone told me it was really bad. And then the night one came after that, so I didn't read that one. But everything else was really good.
I will be reading that. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
On a
very
Pale Horse is the first one.
very important moment to remind people that reading audiobooks is considered reading. If you don't believe that people that consume audiobooks are readers, I I will not be happy with you.
Beatrice would be very, very sad.
Beatrice will be very, very angry, and you don't like to make Beatrice
Sad
angry.
angry.
That is one of the reasons why she goes to therapy because she has anger issues. So that is not a good idea to make me angry.
Okay, don't make Beatrice angry.
No, but that Discord has existed online for so long, and I really, really, really hope with everything that is happening, people can see the value. But so many people like j- even not even touching the fact that it's extremely ableist to say like, oh, the only valid like reading of books is if you are physically like reading it like, with your eyes. It's just extremely. Why are we trying to gatekeep
Yeah.
enjoying a story?
You are ingesting the written word. It doesn't matter if it comes
Exactly.
from your eyes or your ears.
Exactly. Or from your hands. Because also
Yes.
it would be the same thing. It's like, oh, people that read Braille don't read. Yes, they do. That is called reading for a reason. Ah.
We just had a episode of Beatrice showing us what it's like when she's angry about people judging audiobook listeners.
I don't like people judging other people, especially in creative spaces where everyone is just very passionate about everything.
I
It's
mean, if
like
you really
just
want to
love
see
each
an
other.
episode where Beatrice is angry, I'll link it up here. I think the link would come where we talk about Tori Woods and her book.
Whoa, that was yeah.
Nope. Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not talking about that now though. But
Audiobooks
yes.
are great!
Yes,
Yay!
if you have not experienced a good voice actor, get out there and find one. It doesn't necessarily even have to be a audiobook narrator. Just play play a video game, watch a TV show that's animated or dubbed or something, and you'll understand how powerful these people can be. A good example, if you don't want to find any of those, go on YouTube. Presumably you're already on YouTube, and just look up Critical Role. You know, it's a D&D game that all the players are voice actors. Matthew Mercer will voice 19 different characters in the span of 4 hours. I think two or three of them on there have narrated audiobooks, and they're all, I mean, some of them are award-winning voice actors. Like they are phenomenal at what they do. And there's zero chance an AI could replicate any kind of the emotion that they can just put into a character. I was looking for a better word than that, but I could not come up with it.
Critical Role. We love Critical Role in
We
this
do love Critical
house.
Role
In Dimension 20.
and them,
We
but
love Dimension 20 in this house. Oh my god, they're gonna release a steampunk season. Sorry. I was screaming about it yesterday.
I didn't know that.
But yeah.
but yeah, so don't make excuses. Don't Don't come up with fake reasons. Just don't use AI narrated audiobooks.
It's not worth it.
And if you really can't find a voice actor, there's absolutely nothing stopping you from doing it
Hmm.
yourself.
Yeah.
No one would get mad at you for not being a professional voice actor. You're just putting your passion into your work, and more people are probably going to be likely to read it
Hmm.
because you're putting your creativity. People absolutely, it's a kind of like the AI on the cover or the blurbs or whatever. When people can see that AI was used, they're less likely to read the book. Circling back to what Beatrice said earlier. It
And I think when you listen to a lot of these audio books, like the narrators all have different voices for different characters. You don't have to do that. It's fun when you can and when you want to, but if you're narrating your own audiobook, you don't have to do that. And I think that's probably what prevents a lot of people from just doing it themselves. Is like, well, I need a different voice for each character. And if you can, great. If you can't, I bet we can still follow along. If your story is good enough, we won't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not that hard to dis differentiate between characters with your writing alone. People have been doing it for years until like audio recording
Hmm.
became a thing.
Yeah, it's not just pitch and inflection and accents. It's like how fast you speak. What is your cadence? Just turn someone into Christopher Walken and take their punctuation out. It's fine. Just you can find different ways to make them different than, having to have a distinct voice for every single person.
We believe in you, and we
We
know
We
do.
you can do
do.
it. We love
Please do
you.
it before
Thank you
Beatrice
for
gets
being here.
angry.
Yeah, let's not make Beatrice angry.
Oh
Or if you
God.
want, contact us at info at Storyforge. Maybe we'll narrate your audiobook for you.
Oh, I
I'm
would
sure we can piece it
love
together.
to do
Yeah,
that. Give
100%.
me a Hispanic character that has my accent. I will do it for free.
If anyone were
100%.
Recorded.
to ever request me, I have to warn them that I'm absolutely monotonous when I'm sick, like right now.
All right, maybe that's what they need for a character.
Oh,
Yeah.
great! Like the lonely
Oh my God. Dual
character in the
POV
side.
between Joshi and me. Let's go. I'll be the hype one and you'll be the one that hates life.
Oh no,
I
we're
think
Pastel and Emo.
Yeah! We're Kuromi and my melody.
if you'd really like to see what we act like, you can check out our D&D podcast or D&D live play, which will be right about there. Yeah, we have some fun. But yes, for real though, we'd be happy to contact us. But no,
Yay!
but honestly, look into established voice actors. I believe there is actually a guild for them. Uh,
There's a Discord for them too.
there's Discord. There are people out there that would love to help you. Just do something other than feed into the AI narrative, feed into the AI bullshit. Let's just let's put our foot down as readers, writers, authors, narrators, voice actors, that we're done with it. We don't want it. Let's show it. And the only people who will produce it, or excuse me, who will use it are the ones producing the shit that no one wants to read anyway. And eventually, when no one buys it, they will fade out as well. So hopefully this is a fast fad. Let's get rid of it. Let's focus on that human creativity.
Humans for the win.
Any other thoughts? Beatrice is already signing off.
Yeah, it
She's
was
just
a
like, I'm done with
beautiful
this.
it was a beautiful closing thought.
Okay. Well, then we'll just end with that. And then remember, publishers behaving badly. It's not you, it's them.
It is.
It's them. It's always them.